Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Draft and Drive. My name is Josh, here with my sister Alexia. We're siblings who are NASCAR enthusiasts. And today, going over the weekend at Dover. Folks, we did it. At long last, we've made it through the slog of the season. Fox is no more until 2027.
Happy Prime!
From worst to first. Prime is next week for the Coke 600, but let me not get ahead of myself. Start us off. The weekend, O'Reilly, Dover. What happened?
Well, don't you want to talk about the elephant in the room?
What's the elephant in the room?
We're together!
Oh, that's
We're
true.
not on the computer! The elephant
In person.
in the room. Right next to each other.
High def setup.
We already put some money into this to make this improved.
Yep. Look at us. New setup. New us. High budget.
Alright, let's go to Dover.
O'Reilly, start us off.
Alright, Ross Chastain got the pole. An early note, Parker Retzlaff had to go to the rear for unimproved adjustments. That will be needed to know a little bit later on. Lap 12, caution, Ryan Sieg and Brent Cruz made contact. Brent Cruz ended up hitting the wall. As the cars behind them were checking up, Jeb Burton and Parker Retzlaff got together and crashed. Again, Parker Retzlaff was in the rear, and because he was in the rear and with all the squirrels, as the NASCAR drivers say, he got collected in that crash. Stage 1 winner was Brandon Jones, but then his pit crew had a slow 17-second pit stop, which dropped him down to 8th. Caution, lap 61, Blaine Perkins spun and hit the wall hard. Stage 2 winner was the pole sitter, Ross Chastain. Caution, lap 100, on the restart to start stage 3, Rajah Caruth got loose and got into Jesse Love. Jesse Love got into the wall. Jesse Love was not happy about that, and he actually made an Instagram post basically saying, not sure basically why this was happening, running for 8th place. Caution, lap 111, Sammy Smith made contact with Rajah Caruth, who then got loose under Harrison Burton. Caution, lap 119, Taylor Gray and Ross Chastain collided, and Ross Chastain spun while Taylor Gray hit the inside wall hard. Caution, lap 128, Garrett Smithley spun, and then the next caution was Garrett Smithley again on lap 160, who blew a right rear and then hit the wall and spun. And to win the race in the last couple laps was Corey Day. It came down to a last few laps battle with Justin Allgaier. Blake Lothian, not sure if I said the name right. I know you have thoughts about Blake Lothian, but he did play a factor in maybe not the results, but the last couple laps, maybe shortening the battle between Justin Allgaier and Corey Day.
He played a factor.
My pick was Taylor Gray. He ended up getting into that crash with Ross Chastain. Taylor Gray finished 32nd. So I obviously did horrible. Who did you have again?
I had Brandon Jones, who, like you said, led early. Horrible pit stop. 6th place, though. I'll take it. Take a win from me. He could not claw his way back up, but that means I do pick first for next week, Charlotte, and I'll go with the obvious, Justin Allgaier. Hasn't had fire-off speed, like I think, to start off races, but they always find their way, in contention at the end of these things. He's the best at the intermediates. He is my pick for Charlotte. Who you got?
So Corey Day's been on a hot streak. I'm going to go with Corey Day at Charlotte. He obviously got his first win at Talladega, and some could have said that would have been maybe a fluke, because sometimes people say, the drafting tracks are flukes, but then he came back to win at Dover, so I think he's going to go and win at Charlotte. He's, like I said, been on a hot streak. You want to talk about our good surprises, though, for the Dover race?
Yes, my good surprise. I had two, not really too much to note, but both Brennan Poole and Austin Green, good runs for them, 11th and 12th place for those teams. Good, solid showings. What about you?
So I had Corey Day. Obviously, I include him in there because how could you not? But Austin Hill just has been running really average this year, and I've been saying Austin Hill needed a good day. RCR, nice top 5 finish. Austin Hill finished 5th place. And then just another notable mention, Anthony Alfredo got 10th place, which I thought was pretty good for that team. Obviously, with Parker Retzlaff crashing out, Viking Motorsports is on a pretty hot streak this year, specifically with Parker Retzlaff, but Anthony Alfredo, P10, good race for him. My bad surprise, though, was Ross Chastain. After he got to that spin, he couldn't make his way back up through the field. I thought he was going to be more of a factor. He looked really strong in the start of the race. And then also notable, I said, was Sheldon Creed. He just was not mentioned all day long, and he finished 18th place.
I also had Sheldon Creed, 18th place. Didn't hear of him all day. But my other one was unfortunate, because I do like him. Rajah Caruth. Guy washed up, crashed 2 different people, spun 2 different people, cost Jesse Love a good day. Same with Harrison Burton. He desperately needs a good day, so it sucked for him because he was running up front. And, that kind of race for Roger Carruth, I hate to do it to him, but it's reminiscent of like, 3, 4, 5 years ago, Chase Briscoe on the Cup Series level, where he sniffed the front and he just lost his brain and wrecked everyone in sight around him. Hopefully that's just a one-off race for him. Hopefully he gets it together, but that's it. And I did want to bring up the Blake Lockian. Exactly what happened. He seemed like indecisive of what lane he wanted to run. He was getting lapped. And Justin Allgaier in the lead, Corey Day running him down in second place with fresh tires. And Lockian was indecisive where he wanted to go. Justin Allgaier, I think, tried to go top. He thought then Lockian was going to the top, so then he tried to go to the bottom. And by that time, he had scrubbed off too much speed. Corey Day sailed by in the outside lane. Justin Allgaier went to go talk with him after the race. He had a very good interview after the race, Justin Allgaier did, I thought. Didn't really throw him under the bus. He just said, it was a teaching moment. And I was like, well, if that was me, I'd be like, this kid's an idiot. Get him out of here. But that's all I had to say about that. You got anything else for O'Reilly?
No, I just want to say I kind of agree. Like, it was a good moment. Maybe it did kind of seem like he was a little squirrely trying to decide which lane he was trying to go into. And, when you don't want to be the reason why the finish gets determined because of you. And Justin Allgaier obviously thought that Blake Lothian was the reason that the finish was determined. Whether or not Corey Day seemed to have the faster car anyway, but maybe Justin Allgaier could have, blocked air or whatever in the last couple laps, and Blake Lothian did end up kind of determining the finish, and you don't want to be that guy. So, again, I agree with Justin Allgaier. A good teaching moment. It did seem like it was what the CW caught, was recording, did seem like it was like a calm conversation being like, hey, next time just make your move. Decide which lane you're going to go into. Don't be so squirrely. So Justin Allgaier kind of gives me like calm, generally vibes. I obviously don't listen to his radio. I don't think he's like Ryan Blaney that screams all the time and then comes off the track calm, but he seems calm, so I don't know. We'll see. No, they never interviewed Blake Lothian, but...
Yeah, well, I think he finished. Doesn't even matter. He was pretty far off the pace. But
yeah. You ready to go to Cup?
I'm ready.
All right,
for the
all you.
First 2/3 were somewhat interesting. People on Twitter, aka XC Everything app, were going crazy saying this race was horrible. We can get into that in a bit, but the last part was pretty rough. But we'll start off. Denny Hamlin wins the pole for the All-Star race. Lap 1. We don't even make it a lap. Ryan Preece comes down onto Todd Gilliland, taking out Cole Custer, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, John Hunter Nemechek, Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez. I thought it was very funny because Mike Joy did wave the green flag to the race that it was Kevin and Clint in the booth, and they were shitting bricks. I think they even mentioned it, that Mike Joy was not here to call this race, call, the accident. And then when Mike Joy finally made his way back up, it was, after, obviously, the caution. Kevin's like, thank God you're here, because we don't know what we're doing. Let's see. Carson Hocevar has a tire go down, hits the wall, brings out a caution. Restart, they go one lap, then Riley Herbst gets loose, takes out Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott again, Zane Smith, and John Hunter Nemechek again. Ooh. Oh, we got also Allmendinger, Bell, Buscher, and Bowman. Bubba Wallace will be the leader after the first segment. We go green. Ross Chastain comes down on Brad Keselowski. Bubba Wallace comes in late. All three of them involved. Bubba Wallace is not quite the same afterwards. Shane Van Gisbergen spins on his own from second place. Ty Gibbs goes around. He has a couple incidents today. No one, other really notable ones. You just kept seeing him on the screen, and you kept seeing smoke coming out the core. He had a rough day. Tyler Reddick is the leader after the second segment. Daniel Suarez, with a banked-up car, gets the vote into the All-Star race. He was not in the top 5 voting as of this week, so a lot of cars got taken out. A lot of cars, I think, made it in that were in the fan vote, so he got in on the fan vote. Denny Hamlin takes the lead after the competition caution after lap 75 in the third segment. Connor Zilic, after running very good, has a penalty on pit road, equipment interference. He does claw his way back up. Some bug in here. Joe Logano has a tire go down, spins, brings up the caution in the middle of the pit cycle. That screws some things up a little bit. Tyler Reddick, once they go green, has a problem under the hood, has to pit under green after a great day. He had top 3 speed all day. Unfortunate for him. And then Denny Hamlin wins $1 million and the All-Star race at Dover. He was dominant all day. Very, very good.
My race pick.
Your race pick. My race pick finished second place. Chase Briscoe. Tragic. Finally has a good run. Not a points race. And I don't even get the race pick win. So
I think that makes it 3 in a row for Denny Hamlin at Dover, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Dover's one of the closest tracks to us, and it seems like if we ever decide to make the trek out there, we'll be watching a Denny Hamlin win.
Yeah. Well, you got first place, so who you got next week? Coke 600.
So, Kyle Larson has been nothing short of shit, and I think
True.
he is going to finally break the curse that he's had. Obviously, there's been a curse for a couple years. Usually he's been doing the double. This time he's not going to be tired. And I think he's finally going to break the slump, break the curse of, well, 1, horrible finishes, and 2, the winless streak, and get the win at the Coca-Cola 600. Who's yours?
I'm going to go with somebody who got caught up in the lap 1 incident, but had a very good recovery and always seems to have a very good recovery when faced with adversity, as they've had often this year, aka on pit road. Ryan Blaney, Coke 600. Sharpie it in. It's going to happen. I think he's easily the fastest Ford every single week. We can get into that also in a bit, but I think he'll get it done. He's very good at these 1.5-mile tracks, just stuff like that. And I guess I'll go straight into my good surprise. First and foremost, Eric Jones, Legacy Motor Club. You don't see them towards the front. Usually when they're on the screen, something's smoking. Kind of like Ty Gibbs, like I said earlier. Eric Jones ran in the top 5 all day. Very good day and very impressive run for him. Also, Connor Zilic easily had his best day ever. Sucks it's not a points race, but he was top 10 all day. I think he finished, 5th place?
Mm-hmm.
Even after the pit road penalty. Climbed his way back up to 5th place. I would have liked to see what he could have had if he didn't have that penalty, because he seemed like maybe he could have been the only Chevy who could have contended with, the top 3 Toyotas, aka Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick. Who was your good surprise?
So I had both them as well, but I kind of assumed you're going to go with them. So I also threw in Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon, 4th place today. He, RCR, he seems to be kind of like leading the charge lately for RCR, and we would have thought it would be Kyle Busch, but Austin Dillon, another good finish for RCR. Again, not a points race, so it's not going to do him any good trying to get into the chase, but going into my bad surprise, though, I kind of have 2 of the same things, and it's both Shane Van Gisbergen and AJ Allmendinger. In the second segment, they were both really strong, and then once the finale, third segment, whatever you want to say, started, they were both deep in the pack, especially Shane Van Gisbergen after he spun. He just could not make up any ground, and then, like I said, same with AJ Allmendinger, who was leading laps in the second segment. Once the third segment started, he could not make up any ground. He was, in the deep teens.
Yeah.
And you?
Well, my bad surprise was not really one person. It was a manufacturer, Ford. Once again, Austin Cindric, top Ford car. We got issues, gang. 6th place, Austin Cindric had. He's the only Ford in the top 9. Keselowski was 10th, but even Keselowski, I know he led early, but he fell off a cliff, and you never hear about him again. But not one Ford car seemed like they could contend up front all day. Maybe Ryan Blaney, after his lap 1 crash, he climbed his way back up to 13th after, the damage, so maybe with a clean race car, he could have done something, but don't love being Ford right about now.
I feel like when you go to Dover, though, this is Denny Hamlin's playhouse, and it's also, the field was, or I should say the front, was littered with Toyotas. I feel like that's really strong for Toyotas. Hendrick, you can't really say was anything against them because Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson got involved in that early wreck with Ryan Preece, but William Byron still didn't seem very strong throughout. I think Alex Bowman, he was running right around 8th place, but, another day where Hendrick Motorsports also not up there battling. You expect William Byron to be up there battling for these wins, and where is he?
Yeah. I think he was top 10, but still nowhere near the front. The gap between top 10 and the leaders is pretty big. I'm ready for an off track if you're ready.
Well, I had one more thing to say. We never mentioned Zane Smith's team won the pit road challenge, pit stop challenge.
100K.
100K. Not someone I would have picked winning that.
No.
But a lot of the teams made mistakes. I didn't watch it, but I heard a lot of teams made mistakes, and I saw a bunch of drivers spinning, either entering pit road or leaving pit road. So
yeah, you knew Ryan Blaney's team was not going to win that one. That's all I'll say for that. Going to off track, our only NASCAR news of the week, we got something else, actually. And it only relates to the Joe Gibbs Racing versus Chris Gabehart, because there's a scheduling conflict with the exact trial date due to Chris Gabehart's lawyers representing Chase Briscoe in a dispute with his former agent. Thought it was very interesting. I wonder if more will come out about that now that we
know about it.
Now that it's out in the open. Very interesting. Another, court thing to keep on the radar. Let's see. Hayek Motorsports announces a contract extension with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., keeping him there for the next couple of years. That's very interesting. One, it speaks that, Ricky Stenhouse will have a spot. Also speaks that Hayek is not selling their charter, which a lot of people speculated about because, they lost Kroger, whatever, last year, the year before. A lot of people are like, oh, they're selling, a single car team. A lot of people expect, I know Brad Keselowski said RFK wants a charter.
Yeah.
That was a potential, one to be sold. Off the table now. Well, I shouldn't say off the table, but still.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big news for the women in NASCAR this week. You can cover one. I'll cover one right now. Katherine Legge will attempt the double at the Indianapolis 500 and the Coke 600. It was already announced she was going to do the 500 for Indy, but she will now do the Coke 600 with Live Fast Motorsports. She will be the first female to attempt the double, the oldest female, or the oldest person to attempt the double, and the first non-American. My question for you is, what are the chances that Live Fast Motorsports gives her a car fast enough of staying on the lead lap, giving her a chance to complete 1,100 miles?
Oh, I was talking about this with someone else. I said, I hope she completes as many laps as possible. And you got these X-users that are saying, well, I hope she completes more laps than Kyle Larson. Well, one, if everything goes right, she should. But two, who the hell cares? And three, again, you need everything to go right? So, I hope she does too. I hope she is able to run all the laps for the Indy 500. I hope she's able to run all the laps for Live Fast Motorsports. Do I think BJ's McLeod's team is going to give her a fast enough car where she's not going to lose laps? No. I think she's going to be multiple laps down by the end of it, or, unfortunately, there'll be a mechanical failure of some sort. But,
yeah.
600 miles is a long way for a car anyway, but for Live Fast Motorsports,
They're asking the impossible almost.
Yeah. But it does make watching the Indy 500, I always like when someone does a double because it makes it a little bit more interesting to watch. And Carson Hocevar was in Indianapolis this year. I don't remember what team he was hanging around with, but he's in Indianapolis this past week, and I hope he does it in a couple of years, and I could see Connor Zillage doing it in a couple of years. But it's more fun when there's a driver trying to run the double, whether it's Kyle Larson, whether it's Katherine Legge. Kyle Larson's probably going to be a better NASCAR driver, and I know it didn't go the way he thought, but gonna finish higher in NASCAR. Katherine Legge could finish higher in the Indy 500, I feel like. So
yeah, she's probably got a shot to win.
Maybe.
I don't know the team, so I can't say for sure. I mean, maybe she's driving in the Live Fast Motorsports equivalent in IndyCar, but...
You want me to cover Destiny then while we're on the women of
Sure.
NASCAR? Alright, Destiny Spurlock. History was made. So Destiny Spurlock didn't make the Watkins Glen race last week, but she was racing at Dover this week for MBM Motorsports. History was made. She raced at the Dover race, but unfortunately got into a crash early. She did wreck out and got 36th place, but she's now the first black woman to compete in NASCAR. So
pretty cool.
While history wasn't made last week, redemption was made. History was made this week.
Yep. Little redemption, even if it didn't end all the way that we thought. Let's see. We can go through my... I have two silly tweets that I saw that I wanted to bring attention to. We're already getting to the drama here. Okay. One of them is a stupid tweet by PRN. And it said, and I quote, "Is Hendrick going through a slump after Larson was a top finishing driver last week at the Glen with a 23rd place finish?" You want to know why I thought that was the stupidest tweet I've ever seen? Because the week before, Chase Elliott won. Are we serious? They have one bad race. Listen, I understand the standard for Hendrick is here. Win. But, one bad race? Are we serious? Can we calm it down a little bit? Are we joking? And, I understand the standard is here, but also, in NASCAR, it's not normal for a team to dominate. Tyler Reddick having the season that he's having, even if that was one organization, even if it was spread out between, his wins were spread out between Bubba Wallace and Riley Herbst, that's still not normal for a team to dominate they are.
Yeah.
I thought it was silly, and I wanted to bring it up. All right, let's see. Where's the other controversial one I had? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I didn't put it down. I decided to leave it because it was one that by Dustin Albino, whatever it is. No offense, pal. But it was talking about LeVar Scott saying that he has impressed in his O'Reilly Series debut. And I was like, has he impressed?
I do feel like whenever he's on the screen, he's crashing out.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But, like, I don't want to dog on the guy. I know he's good. He was decent in ARCA. But, like, impressed? Are we sure? That one was more of a... I'll throw that in there. Let's see.
I can do one.
Go for it.
Jordan Bianchi reported that the Chicago Street Course is in talks to come back on the 2027 NASCAR schedule. So I got a couple questions. Does this put Chicagoland in jeopardy? I think it does. And then 2, which do you think is better for the sport, Chicagoland or the Chicago Street Course?
Whether I think it's in jeopardy, I think it all depends on how the race is. I know people have said that ticket sales are not the best for Chicagoland this year.
Which I think is bullshit, by the way. Because you got all these people trying to fight for it to come back. If you're fighting for it to come back, buy the goddamn tickets.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I was always under the impression that, like, the city of Chicago did not want the street course. So I don't know, I don't know how that's going to work. If they want it even back. Which is better for the sport? Probably the street course, just because it's different. It's in the middle of the city. You know, it's, you can't miss it if you hear it. If you're there, you're not going to be able to miss it. So I think that's probably better, but in terms of on-track product, I haven't seen the, Chicagoland back, but I imagine mile and a half, the car race is pretty good, the mile and a halves. I expect that to be the better product on track, but what about you?
I agree exactly with what you said. I think better probably on track would be Chicagoland, but they try to make it a party for the Chicago Street Course. I think they tried to bring the Chainsmokers a couple of years ago, and they keep having shitty weather there. If they had good weather and they keep trying, like I said, they're trying to make this more of like a party and like this massive event, kind of like they did like the Clash the first year when it was at the Coliseum. Like, if they try to make it more of a party, exactly what you said, you can't, if it's in the middle of your streets, like you know about it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know Chicagoland, really, unless you're a NASCAR fan. Be like, oh, they're at Chicagoland this weekend. But probably, better race would be Chicagoland.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I got in my notes? Naval Reserve Officer and part-time race car driver Jesse Iwuji, most known for wrecking Ty Gibbs at Portland Raceway a few years ago under caution, will drive for the team that he part owns in the O'Reilly Series. The 91 car for DGM at San Diego. Makes sense. He's got military ties going to the military base. We'll see how he does after a few years off in the car.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone knows the video. That's all of a sudden you see Ty Gibbs. Oh my gosh! That's what you hear on the broadcast. A legendary moment.
There's a lot of people going for that San Diego race. I feel like there's going to be a lot of DNQs, too.
Yeah. Popular race. Mm-hmm. That'll probably be another one like the Chicago Street Course where it's, they're trying to make it a big thing, but we'll see how the on-track product is.
Yeah.
It's a street course.
I think this is a one-year deal, and then I also think that if this is a one-year deal, they're already looking at the Chicago Street Course coming back because they know they're not going to go back to San Diego. Aren't they doing this for, like, America's 250th birthday? That's why they're doing it. So next year's 251.
No one cares. Sad news. AM Racing in the O'Reilly Series officially closes its doors. The writing was on the wall after they haven't shown up to like a race in the past 2 months or whatever. I think it's fascinating though because Harrison Burton in that car last year definitely overachieved where that car was capable of, where it should have been running, and it's interesting that it's just gone just like that now. After a couple starts with Nick Sanchez, he did okay.
Yeah.
Nothing groundbreaking, but he did okay. But sad. No Ford team now in the O'Reilly Series, besides like Hettinger or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. No disrespect to them, but I don't even know if they're full-time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Bubba Wallace said that before the All-Star race he had immediate availability, and he said that the reason him and Christopher Bell were talking after the race last week is because he was mad because he got dumped by John Hunter Nemechek, and then he was having such a good day, and then he rejoined, and then at that point he was just mad and racing everyone very hard, and Christopher Bell came over to him asking, what the heck? Why you racing me so hard? And so he said Bell just got caught in the crossfire, so allegedly nothing there. And let's see, I'll add one more thing. And I didn't know if it was very important, but it's important to me. Fortnite has added the NASCAR Next Gen Camaro from Rocket League to a drivable vehicle in the game. Team specific wraps are coming soon, I believe. Right now it's just a generic Chevy one.
Is this you asking my thoughts?
What are your thoughts? Are the other ones coming soon? Ford and Toyota? Or is it just a Chevy thing?
I don't know. Now I'll have to look into it. I didn't know this was coming on the off-track important NASCAR notes that we were going to share.
Yeah, some would even say
Blindsided.
it's more important than AM Racing closing its doors. Should have been asked at the top of the list, actually. NASCAR, no. Fortnite news, top of the list. We're actually transitioning the podcast.
Alright, let me finish it off. So, this is just a notable moment that happened. Pit cart got loose at Dover on Friday. The pit cart was heading straight for Fox reporter Amanda Busick. Tire carrier for Daniel Suarez, Donovan Williams, threw himself in front of Amanda and took the hit from the pit cart. He did end up getting checked out at the hospital and suffered minor injuries, but on Saturday, all of a sudden the camera flipped over. He's pitting for Rajah Caruth, which is a good moment, a nice moment. Amanda Busick said that her and Donovan Williams have never met before, and now she said, well, she did say at the time of the interview, the next time she saw him, she was going to give him a big hug because he saved her life. And I don't know if you have anything else, but I thought we would finish the podcast strong. You got anything else?
Got nothing else.
Well, everyone, it's a day of fucking celebration. Fox is over. Prime takes over next week for the Coca-Cola 600. No more crappy camera angles. No more, you see a caution in the background, all of a sudden we're going to commercial. No more, a crash is happening in the background, but yet Fox is not capturing it. Oh, no more Kevin Harvick's word of the day, or whatever.
Booth is horrible. My God. No more. Oh, crash, turn 4. And then the camera changes.
I wish I could show the camera the funny tweet that I saw.
I know what you're talking about.
So they're showing the 2007 Daytona 500, and I think that's the race with Mark Martin and Kevin Harvick, photo finish to the line. But instead they had the commentary from the race a couple years ago for the Daytona 500 that Travis Pastrana was in, and Ricky Stenhouse, I think, won, whatever year that was. And it's like the most dullest commentary with one lap to go during the Daytona 500 that you could possibly have, and they put that over the 2007 Daytona 500 finish, and it's just like, oh, coming to the line, and Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
Oh, he goes around.
Oh, he goes around. And then they show, like, Clint Boyer on his roof flipping during the 2007 Daytona 500 across the line. I wish I could show the video.
Yeah, it's been rough this year. But, folks, we've gotten over the hurdle. Prime next week. Give me Carl Edwards in the booth. He's probably not going to be in the booth. He's probably just an analyst. But
you got Dale Jr., you got Steve Letarte, and Adam Alexander. And then Corey LaJoie is with Carl Edwards.
We're going from the worst to the best. Then we're going to go to TNT, who, as of last year, was second worst. No disrespect to them. It was their first year. We'll give them credit. We'll see where they wind up. But then I think after that, we'll be going up again to NBC, who I think is the second best. Mm-hmm. So we shall see. Only good times ahead. The worst is behind us. Storm is behind us. And we just keep on trucking. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I think that's all I got.
Well, folks, hope you enjoyed the in-person Draft and Drive podcast. If you're new, like, subscribe if you're wanting to stick around. We'll see how many of these we do. See you next week. Coke 600 on Prime, baby. Bye-bye.
Yeah.